Good evening, good evening, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning.
And good, but not goodbye yet.
Welcome to BeoTalk number 319. Uh, Sorry for being out last week. I got almost blown away. I had a slight hurricane issue going on.
Fuck. Yeah, hurricane or not, it's a mess here. I'm still waiting for the electrician. Fuck. Like
I mean,
Quebec contracts.
I only lost power for like 6 days.
I haven't had power since I moved in here in certain plugs. Well, obviously I haven't touched them.
So, I don't know, buy something at Skinny Play. Use the link. I'll put that in the description and in the chat. Use the promo code to get 10% off. Um, what else? Oh, yeah, come join the Discord.
Yeah, you should. It's pretty spicy every now and then.
There's the link to the Discord if you haven't yet already. Leave a like and subscribe if you also haven't done that yet. Yeah, that's about it. How have you been?
Not bad. Just this shit. Obviously surviving with it.
Oh, wow, you're getting cat serious because you have a tower.
Oh yeah, no, I moved the tower here from my girlfriend's house. Because what the fuck is she gonna crawl on in here for a week? So I have the cat for a week, just so everybody knows. And essentially, the godsend of the electrician not being here is working out because I can sleep at night without worrying that the cat will go up to 90s. She does crawl, bro. She goes all over everything. Fuck. And that is going to present itself an issue, especially with 4 square meters of fabric on each speaker. There's a lot of real estate to go on to.
Yeah,
So,
you'll soon find out the joys of cat life.
oh, the first thing she came in here, clipped her fucking nails, bro, right away. Ding, ding, ding. Ring. No more. I just get little stubs that she just falls off everything, but too bad. A, B, I have my Eames chair covered with a whole bunch of stuff so it doesn't get, she doesn't get on it. Thankfully, she doesn't take no interest, but I'm sure if I had it unpacked, she'd be going all over it. So that stays. My table's still packed because I can't. If I unpack the table, then the speakers are gonna be a pain in the ass, right? Because I'm keeping this area empty specifically so I can fuck around with these big boxes. Because 160 kilos is 160 kilos and shit.
Yeah, I have a beautiful leather couch, but it's slowly being ruined by cats.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing, like, because I watched in my girlfriend's place, like, she jumps, even though she's gotten her nails clipped, she still tries to, right? And there's still marks being left. So, I don't know how to fix that other than not having a cat here.
Yeah, you'll get used to it.
No, there's no fucking way I'm gonna get used to that, and especially not like around 90s, and there's no way, bro. At least she's not like a dumb dog that would start chewing wood and corners of my furniture, because that'd be just terrifying. But no,
Yeah,
she's cute, but it's just yeah, the constant, like she wants to keep. You need to keep her entertained at some point, right?
yeah. I put blankets over the top of my couch because they like to walk on the top end.
Yeah,
So
the
now it turns
promenade,
out
right?
that the new cat, she loves to be under the blanket, so she crawls up literally by nails to be under the blanket.
Fuck.
So
There's
fortunately, it's
always
up
the
to the
one, yeah.
side, and she also does it on the back side of the couch only. But it's literally, I heard some like well
Ah,
the other night, and I see her literally climbing up the ladder with like nails. It's like, oh
Jesus
my
Lord.
god.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker. That you know what, man? If that cat grows up my fucking 90s one day, then she's flying right through that or that or that window. There's three in this room. There is no way. There's no. I don't think I would be able to just like there would be just a reaction. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even think about it. It would just be cat out. That's it.
She'd probably do one of these things, and then you go, oh.
No, no. There's not enough. There's not enough awe in the fucking. What does the fabrics cost to replace for the white 90s? 20 grand, since that's the bespoke upgrade, at least.
In Canadian,
It's
for
20
sure.
grand on top. Well, yeah, it's 20 grand on top Canadian of the regular order, but the regular speakers already have black fabric, which is the same fabric. I don't understand why it's cost $20,000 more. But yeah, like to replace that would be a disaster, man. Fuck. And you can't sell them like that because I wouldn't have the heart. Or sell them naked, I guess. But
Yeah.
no bueno. So
Other than that,
uh,
it's all going well, moving and stuff.
I'm already moved. You know what I did? This week I just kind of sat down and said to myself, I'm gonna finish one room a day, and that's what I did. I did the bedroom. Well, I did the bathroom first. I put the LED strip underneath the. It took me fucking 4 hours. Like it thing, it just you just stick it on, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to drill any holes into anything, so it was all the double-sided Velcro, 3M Velcro that I used for attaching shit. Then you got to figure out how to do the cable because they ran the extension from the actual plug that you have normally in America, right, on a counter, and just ran it down and down underneath, and then I had to plug in the emerge, the fucking Lutron, not Lutron, the Philips Hue, the little, it's a light, like a appliance controller or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then what? The toothbrush and the shaver, right? And I didn't want it so it's like it freaking hangs like dog's bollocks low enough that you can see the shadow of the cables casting. Not just standing there, but even like because on the Eames chair, if you turn around and you can actually see all the way directly into the bathroom, and it's just enough that you can't see any cables. So that took most of the night.
Would have been easier to get a self-closing hinge.
No. That's for underneath the.
Yeah, I know, but
or
when the door is always shut, you can't see in the room.
Yeah, but I have to keep the fucking door open because the cat's here. Because that's where the litter's at, right? I'm not gonna keep the litter because she does some stink bombs, bro. It's terrible. So yeah, that stays there, and at least I can close the doors. And then Thursday, I finished the bedroom when I put the LED strips again underneath the bed.
Is the
And then
V1 up
automated
yet?
it all. Yeah. V1 is up. I put that up as well this week, so it looks pretty cute.
Is the shape up, or are you gonna go for the
No
12.2s?
shape stays, and quite honestly, like given the how like this morning I actually went and I watched YouTube on that little 32-inch TV. I don't really need anything with it, to be honest. Like I'm not, and if I listen to radio in there, I have the emerge, so or the level, so it doesn't. It makes no difference, and I don't spend any time in the bedroom. Or at least it's a completely separate room. It's not like it used to be in my old apartment that I would still pass through it to get to the closet and the bathroom or whatever. And also, I was not shooting fucking birds out of my bedroom window, so I no longer go to the bedroom unless I go to sleep, and I don't care for I still want the 12 threes. I don't know where I'll put them, but I'd probably put them somewhere here. Maybe I'll just keep them in the box because I like the idea of it.
Yeah, they're very pretty speakers.
And sadly, none of our shit in the store has gotten its update yet, so I couldn't play with anything. So there's that. What's going on with the chat? Does anybody have issues with the H100s play music playback via title? I don't know. I haven't heard anybody complain, and quite honestly, we're not selling them because we're sold out. So that's basically it. And I think a lot of our clients are using Deezer by default of just Kareem for last 10 years, giving it, or was it 12 now, I guess? Since the Avant, right? So
Yeah.
Deezer came out since the Avant. And then, the moment. So fuck, like it's been years that you're drilling into people's heads to be Deezer. And now they give you the title, which they make work with all the headphones, which I don't understand what the problem is. I think it's the licensing or whatnot. But you have to get out of the B&O's app to listen to Deezer if you want to listen to Deezer. But Tidal, you can actually listen within the app's environment. And I find that the Tidal sounds a bit better. I don't know if it's just placebo because I'm looking at the B&O app, or their codec processing is better, or the way that it just, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's the native app for the sound, right? That it just sounds better a little bit, not by like an acoustically large margin. Sorry, but it does sound better.
Yeah,
So
like everybody else, I've been into Deezer since forever, and like I have a year subscription, and like I'm not gonna like cancel that middle of the year.
I'm kind of choked about it because I did move into Tidal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't matter before I moved to this apartment. Now I have a Beosound 1, I have a V1. I have a fucking moment on a floor stand in the hallway for no reason. It's not even connected to anything. The sole purpose of that thing it will be to forward light on and all standby and light off, basically off of the B&O's keychain from the yesteryears. What is it, the A5 keychain? I guess it was called. Oh, no, A3 or A1 accessory. I don't know, whichever one. Yeah, it's a working moment, but it's going to work just strictly for IR to forward the commands to turn on the hallway and the rest of the house. It's just going to be there to trigger the macro. And most likely, I'm going to use an Essence remote in the IR mode in the hallway to just blast. Because then with the IR, the wheel commands, I could essentially control whatever the fuck I want in the house. Like like I said, the moment is it's a link eye with a cutting board at this point of time.
Yeah, I use it like here because it has Y set to here.
And it looks cool, right? Like my girlfriend, when she saw it, because she's never seen the moment before, and I had the wooden part. She's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "It's a like music player." Just because obviously she knows it's B&O. Fuck, it says Big Bang and Olufsen on it. Which I think that product is the is it the number one most logoed? I think so.
Probably, yeah. It has it on just about every edge of it.
Yeah, because there's a Bang & Olufsen on one side, on the other side,
I think it
on the
even has on the
table.
thin side.
Yeah. No, I don't think it does. Oh, maybe. I don't want to go get it. Fuck it. And one on the back. So yeah, that one is the most stuck with. But yeah, so now, well, naturally, the moment is a complete disaster because, and it's not like I'm hacking on it. We already know what it is, but it doesn't even have support for B&O radio. It'll join B&O radio, but then again, it's the same with the V1. It doesn't have support for B&O radio, but it joins from. I have it set as a linked source to the Beosound 1 in the kitchen. So if I turn on radio with the Beo time, it just links it here into the kitchen and plays in the bedroom. So I have B&O radio in the bedroom.
Yeah, it's a bit of a workaround now. Like it still uses Tidal, which is fine, right? I don't think there's any like big qualitative difference between B&O radio and Tidal. It's just that TuneIn is not available on any Mozart anything.
No, and also the sad part is that the Tidal isn't available as a source on the Mozart platform products. So I got out of Deezer, and the only way for me to turn on the music is to go to the phone, use the fucking app to turn on Tidal.
Yeah.
But as a second observation that I'll give it to Tidal is my entire playlist, like the favorites that I imported from Deezer,
yeah.
and they were all over the place. They're exactly in the same order that I had them before. They did for some reason with the 6.3 update, they are all organized chronologically.
That's kind of nice.
Well, at least that's a step forward, but yeah, it's regretfully annoying that you can't turn on the Deezer, I mean the Tidal source from any B&O remote. And I think B&O, you guys should get on that. Like I cannot fathom how that is a hard fix.
Yeah, I have two M3s, a Beosound 2 and a Moment, obviously, that like are not B&O radio or Tidal at all capable. So I don't see a reason to switch when I still have all this gear.
And whoever you switch it to, if they want to do the same, then they're screwed too, right? It's not even a point for them to buy it.
Yeah, I mean, luckily you can join, but like, okay, it becomes really annoying if you have to have 2 subscriptions for 2 different sets of products.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking about too. Because I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna pay $26 a month to listen to music, or be able to listen to music at home and be able to listen to music on my headphones.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth the headphones, man. It is very good sound quality, and I'll stick with Tidal for a while till I get these butt puppies unboxed, because I'm sure that'll show.
I mean, if one day, like, I decide to replace my Beosound 2 for the Mozart one and the M3s for, like, Emerges, then sure, Tidal, here I come. I don't care, right? But it's kind of odd when you have this sort of semi-current product range that just doesn't do it.
Into Preppy, correct. The B&O recommending Tidal, or is it Deezer? So
Both.
here's the ironic part about it. They recommend Deezer, yet there's things that are way buggier and get sorted with the updates way slower than the bugs in the Tidal. But the Tidal is not supported on the older product, which they don't tell you that, more or less, right? Well, you find that out once you start streaming into it, and this B&O product is not compatible with Tidal.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you can AirPlay, they say, and that sort of thing, but that's just annoying if you're used to the
well, I'm fucked.
ecosystem.
I'm an Android user, dude. I can't AirPlay. I'm an Android
Chromecast
guy.
as well.
So yeah, for me, it's just the Chromecast, which I by nature, for some reason, I just disable on all my products because I don't.
Because Google wants to know whatever you Chromecast.
Exactly. So I just don't like. Not that I'm like paranoid for spying, but
I just don't like giving it away for free. Pay me if you want to see.
I've lived on this little planet long enough to know that whatever shit that they can spy on you, it reflects in your ads in the phone.
Yeah.
And the less you give them, the better off you are. But and more you give them, the more they take. And I just, I don't want it. And I kind of, I ran an experiment actually as well this week, which was interesting. I took a merge from the store, the wood one, right? And I changed I fucking stupid. I should have taken pictures. I was so carried away by it, and
it's like Lego.
yeah. I swapped the covers, right? I swapped the black one for with the wood kind of panels, and I put it in the bathroom. Like, I thought it would look much better. Maybe I'm just used to the black one now, but I thought it would have looked much better. I might just do it and order those things anyways. They're expensive, dude. Like, they're expensive. I think they're $350, $400.
Yes, something like that.
And once I took the wood off the Emerge, I completely understood why they are so expensive. Because they're fucking milled, and then the brackets, they're plastic, just like on the plastic Emerge side. But they're welded, not ultrasonic welded, they're also glued, but the recesses are machined into that thin wood, man. It was very impressive. And it was like seven of them, these the indentations machined out, and then the bracket clips on. I don't know if you've seen the back of it or not, but very, very, very cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of work for a small part, but I like that you can buy it as a spare, essentially, but like it's not. You might as well buy another one instead of
for the
like
amount of money that it costs.
Well, if you want the wood one and you have a black one, right? It makes no sense just to buy the panels. Just buy another one.
Yeah, and before they go up in price again, by the way, I'm sure. The site only support Mozart and not on ASU platform. Exactly, Brian. But if you're playing Tidal on the Mozart, you are able to join the Mozart stream.
Yeah.
So technically, yes, it is available. but not as a source. It's a joinable source, like anything else, really. So yes, it's
But
I don't like the bipolar thing of it, I guess. But if I was the high net worth individual, would I give a shit if I was subscribed to both or one? Right? I guess that's the point.
I have a feeling this is almost more like if you're a high net worth individual, they expect you to start from scratch, as in you're a new customer.
Yeah, well, you know what the funny and sad part is that that's what I see the most. Like most of the people that we install B&O to, that I go into, are, I would say, brand new customers. They are some that are old, but then they go from a single zone TV like 740 to a theater, right? So
Yeah.
it's there's nothing that they have to compare from and criticize, right? Because they didn't have the multi-room or this and that, and so that wasn't an issue. We had a guy in Ottawa. Was it Ottawa? Yeah, I think it's in Ottawa. That he had an Avant with an NLNL converter, right? And then he had a fucking Beosound 4 and a couple passive kits. So he had the master link, the network link, and now the fucking theater comes in and don't work on shit. So that guy was choked. 100%.
Yeah, or you have to get another core and then like do a bunch of join commands here, there, and everywhere, and you're just like zapping
Yeah,
your
that's
remote.
to me, honestly, it's like a $5,000 upgrade because you got to get the core and the fucking gateway so you can just put it to one, like, because the old man's not going to remember, at 6:30 in the morning or 5, whatever the old people wake up at, and punches in. Yeah, leave it in the chat what time you guys wake up at, because yeah, most of us are older here. So I'm 6:30, and you sit there and you fucking look for a join command on something. Tada, no way I would do that. So yeah, that's the kind of gateway nonsense. Apparently, also, poor Etienne, he found out the hard way. I had no idea that either BNO did it without knowing or they knew about it, but the silent update. But the commands on the core are all fucked up as far as the IR used to be. So I don't know. I obviously not many people use the core in the IR configuration, so there wasn't really much of a boorara about it. But yeah, it's no bueno. Also, when you put the core, here's the thing. What I would recommend for the B&O dealers, quite honestly, is keep one BeoSound core as your service tool. Don't fucking sell all of them, because if somebody buys a shape a few years from now, because the shape's going to be here for a while, we would agree,
Yes,
especially with a
absolutely. At least another
with a
5.
with a new core made of comport specifically for it. I would highly recommend keeping the BeoSound core, the original, because there is no fucking way for you to set the slave mode, or I mean the primary mode on the amplifier if somebody buys the core as rear surround channels. You can't do that. You need the BeoSound core and you need the USB cable to it. And you do a reset, and before the data's pushed, you unplug the USB, and you have the what's it called, the amplifier in a master mode, I guess, or stereo. So very, very important. So hopefully whoever watches that podcast, whenever you watch it, hopefully it's not too late. But as a technician myself, I was thinking, right, like, because the guys just dumped all the cores. Like, I know Etienne has one and I have one, but I'm keeping it. I don't give a fuck for the $1,000 to sell it, because if somebody comes in, I would literally could charge you the $1,000 to fucking do it, because you need the core that's $1,000 to do it.
Yeah, I mean, even
I'm
if you
not
have
gonna do
a
that, but it's ridiculous, man. But yeah, there is no other way to do it. So keep the core specifically for that service call.
even if you have a regular shape right now and you're okay with the sound quality, but I don't know, you get an addiction like Henrik or something, and you say, "Can I add 16 more speakers?" But I don't care for a new core. I mean, if you're a dealer and like they don't sell the BeoSound cores anymore, then what you gonna do?
No, and in my opinion, it doesn't matter what core you have. As far as what matters, like it would matter to me because I had the core in the bedroom where it was driven basically by BeoTimes commands to turn on the rest of the system, air conditioning, lights, all this shit in the whole apartment. Also, the problem with the core, once it's plugged into the Beosound shape, the IR protocol completely changes, and it only takes BeoRemote 1 commands instead of BeO4 as well. So your alarm clock is completely useless for volume or whatever. It takes an all standby. It doesn't take the source for the radio. No, yeah, it did the radio, but no volume control, nothing. And all standby, all the light and control commands work through, so I could still trigger shit, so I couldn't care less. But yeah, if you're doing the core in the IR, then the limitations are severe. You have to have a BeoRemote 1 to do that with, which at that point you're connected Bluetooth more or less into the bloody core.
Which do you want to go first? Digital Power Link or Ferrari edition stuff?
Let's go with the Ferrari because that's going to be much shorter to talk about, in my opinion.
I mean, the race is on again.
Fudge, but the 50s look sick, man. They have the aluminium backs, hey?
Yeah, and so they have the aluminium fronts on the theater.
I know. It's sexier than muff.
It's pricey as well.
Oh, yeah. We're not going to discuss that because we already know that this is just astronomy in numbers. When it comes to what the cost of this stuff is. But it is beautiful.
It's also a different shade of aluminium. It's sort of more like a gunmetal kind of thing.
It reminds me of those BeoLab 12 3s with the second revision of BeoVision 12.
Yes, where it's sort of mattish.
Yes, I forget the name of that color, but yeah, somebody in chat saved my life. But
it's sort of more satin, I guess, if you put it into like paint schemes.
The only thing that I would have an issue with it is the side profile, maybe, because if this is matte, I'm fine with it. The problem is that the goddamn panels do not change the colors. Even if you get the golden theater, you got a silver fucking TV over top of it, which just sucks. You know, it would be better if it was if B&O could totally make those bespoke profiles, man. It's such a cheap piece of aluminium to do that, and it holds in fucking like clip brackets with 4 screws.
Sharpie. Get one of those fat permanent markers where you just go down the line. Like
the only thing that bothers me only the logo of the Ferrari that is so small and on the side.
Yeah, we also have the red tweeter.
That I really like, but I think where the logo should have been, it should have been placed on the floor stand platter. Nice big fucking logo in the center of that circle. If you want to go Ferrari, I think that would look kind of super cool instead of having that, like, what's that dent in the left corner? Oh, it's a logo.
Yeah, the prancing horse is more like a tiny mule deer.
Well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's if you're doing a collaboration like that, like embrace it, Fudge. What are the colors of this? What's the color in Ferrari terms? Whoever's watching that owns one, what is that gray tone color remind you of when you first saw it? Obviously, we all know what the red ring is. It's the red color of the car. But what is that the primary color as a Plan B color or a secondary color on the Ferrari? That's what I want to know.
It looks to me like, looking at it a bit longer, like this corner of the TV is actually not lined up. See where my mouse is?
No, it's the light.
Well, the corner of my mouse is on the corner of the theater.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it. I didn't want to say nothing, but
oops.
You can't even render this. You can't even render this straight. Come on. Yeah, the TV's out to lunch. One's on the right side, I guess, or left side. So.
Grigio Scuro. That's apparently the name of the color.
Okay. I like the irony of the wings, right? Where you can do the red ones, but you won't do the black ones for the anthracite.
For the anthracite they are, not for the black.
Oh, sorry, the piano black ones, yeah.
Which is also weird, right? Like, it's even more noticeable in the piano black ones.
Right. So I do like that, yeah. And no, you cannot order these as parts. They completely made that unavailable.
I'm not so sure about this red line in the middle.
I
It's,
like it.
I don't know. I don't hate it, but it's all right. I mean, maybe like 10 years from now, I'll go like, "Oh, I love that," but currently, it's sort of like it's a bit out of place to me.
Yeah, for a quick second when I saw that, I thought it was skinny placed grills, and then I'm like, oh, okay, no, it comes with it. But it is nice. I definitely like the lamellas, man. That is freaking cool.
These are gonna be so expensive to make. Holy
Oh
crap!
boy.
Because you're gonna need what at least a 4, if not 5 angle CNC machine that just goes.
More than that, because you need a beveler. There's a straight lines, right? And I'm sure they're tapered into each side. And then the back is a complete disaster for the little hooky things that they have
Yeah.
to machine out.
I mean, maybe these are
Yeah.
all just like screwed in finally.
Or welded in the whatever they do, the ultrasonic welding.
So there's some Danish dude with JB Weld on the back.
My guess is they're doing exactly the same thing they're doing with these. They just put them on. But they do look a bit different to me than those. They look thinner, like they're actually a rounder, right? Like it's not the same look
The
of those
wood.
lamellas that we are used to as far as the wood people.
I mean, these are what? Probably 30% more? Something like that? The
I
50s?
Somebody posted, forgotten the number, but it's I'm sure it's within the silly
The 65-inch
realms.
theaters, like somewhere in the 20 grand range,
Fudge.
which is essentially 80% more, I think.
20 grand US but that's with the screen, the VESA as well. You got to remember that.
Yeah, I think it was like 26 or something.
And the stand is stand is 6G's Canadian by default of just any color other than bronze tone.
I think it
That's
was
another
like
15,
three and a
20%.
half USD or something.
You know what? At this point, I'm just tired of discussing the price because somebody will buy it. It's just like the Atelier stuff, you know. And in all honesty, I don't think that whatever price tag you see on it, those people end up paying for it.
Well, this is one of the few Ferrari things where they don't mention the price anywhere. It's request a quote from a dealer kind of thing.
Interesting. So
Let's see.
somebody will buy it. Somebody bought the turntable with the transmitter and the 18s on it. So that's it.
Oh, here we are. This is, let's see, what country am I in? In the US. These are mentioned now. They weren't like a few days ago.
Did they put the Ferrari tax after the B&O tax was applied on the B&O?
Yes, apparently in the US anyway, they do. 95,000 USD.
Son of a homeless whore. That's a lot, man.
Oof. I mean,
And but then again, it's the same thing. Like you can buy a freaking date just from Rolex for let's say 6Gs, and you can buy one for 25 or 30Gs, depends on the different metal and stuff, and it tells the time the same, right? That's exactly how I look at this now, because it's just 50s are gonna be 50s. I don't give a shit what you're dressing like. They're not gonna have 15 more 100 watts horsepower because they're a Ferrari edition. They're gonna sound exactly the same. It's just like if you are so like if I was obsessed about Ferraris like I am obsessed about B&O, I would fucking get that.
Maybe your sound is quicker. Maybe your sound is more aerodynamic.
I wonder if the microphone is also in that color, or they just put the regular.
Now that would
Joe.
be a touch, right? If you go all out, like do the little touches, make it a special microphone, like
Make it red or whatever.
yeah,
Make
anodize it the
Make
same
tip
red, and make it one of these things where you don't tell anybody. It's just something you see once you take it apart.
Yeah, that would be nice.
But including sales tax, you're at what? At least $103,000
For a system.
No, for just
Cost you-
50s.
Oh, see, but that line sticks out. So is it metal? It looks like that line would be
must
made
be,
of
yeah.
aluminium. Interesting. It's not just fucking painted, obviously.
Oh, like if even the standard wood covers on the back are ridiculously expensive. I expect these covers for this, even if you could buy them as a spare part, if they see you actually bought it, right? They're
I
probably
think there'd
10
be 10 grand.
Yeah.
10 grand minimum to just for the covers for sure. Because that's a lot of jewelry, man. That's so much machining. Oh my god.
Because they're what? They're like...
At least they're all the same. It's not like on the 18s when the first half to the second half you make
now
7
for
on
the...
each side.
I think it's €1,800 it was for one, I think. Or for a set. Or was it 36? I forget now. I forget. I have it written down somewhere when I bought it.
Set is see that always fucked me up with B&O was the what's a set and what's a pair.
Yeah.
If you get a set, I think it's just for one speaker, so you get two covers. A pair is for both, so you get 2 sets of pairs, or 2 sets to make a pair. Yeah.
But I like the aluminium color on this a heck of a lot.
It's a very nice gray. Very, very nice gray.
It's just that's a bit of a big Whew.
Sell your 4 and buy 2. It's a good idea. Then you can buy the silver 8.
Yeah, no.
No.
I'd rather buy the original the original ones and just have 2 sets of those because that's yeah. I mean,
I'm good with mine. I was debating to do the. I guess we should run a poll to see if I should do the unboxing of the 90s. Because I'd have to do it in 2 stages, basically. I could live stream the first, opening the crates and all that, because that'll be a few hours. And then taking them off the pallet, basically. But taking them off the pallet is a task on its own. So I don't know yet. We'll see.
Yeah, the Ferrari one. Let's see. Is it listed now? Finally, no. The Ferrari theater itself is still not listed as a price.
Oh, they probably will not even have the price on it if there was requested for not to have. I think.
Yeah, it's look, I like this sort of collaboration, but like
I wonder if they use AI to generate some of this nonsense.
I also wonder what the sort of profit share is with Ferrari.
Yeah.
It's Because surely that must be some of the price difference, right? Like just the profit share.
So I guess it's the same color that we have on top of the Explorer. Wouldn't that be it?
The red, you mean?
No, the gray as well.
Could be. Like in the pictures anyway, it reminds me of the topaz gray or whatever it's called.
Yeah. But I don't think it's that. The renderings
No.
are always, useless from B&O.
To the point, it still annoys me that this stuff is so much nicer in real life than they actually managed to portray it on their own website.
Yes. They should just start using real cameras for pictures like they have before.
Yeah, or spend some more time setting it up in an actual room or even in a light box, right? Like you don't
even have to even Photoshop the red lights on it because there's no standby lights on products, man. Just take pictures of it, stage unplugged. That's it. In a white box, like you're saying, or whatever.
Yeah.
Just real is real always. You can tell.
I mean, there's so much grain in this picture. It almost looks like it comes straight out of a video game, like out of Unreal Engine or something.
Yeah, I wonder what they're using, but it's the textures will always give it away, no matter what. You can't render textures that perfectly as you can take a picture of a real product and have the real textures on it.
Or B&O should be better at gaming and go for Unreal Engine 5.
Start rendering through there. Fuck. That'd be funny. But yeah. So the digital power link. I was thinking about the idea actually because I have a core now in the shop that we brought back. It's acting up, and that's the one that had the software in it, randomly installed by just default update, but you just got a beta on it. And I was just suspecting it, but anyway, so I took it, and I'm gonna try. You essentially are able to run a 5-point system out of it, 5.1, if I'm not mistaken, because you could connect, let's say, 4 emerges via digital power link, and you can take one power link output, put it into, let's say, a BeoLab 7.4, right, or a whatever. On the other side, you can put it into the subwoofer, so you can actually have 5.1 out of the core, because you have left and right channel, right? So left channel can be center and the right channel can be sub, because you should be able to assign that via true image. And the processor in the core is exactly the same as it's in the theater, because all of them have the same processor, just there's a limitations and capabilities based on the speaker that it's installed in.
I wonder, and the reason, because one of the B&O guys on the Discord said that the BeoConnect core would be limited to a 2.0 out, as in, like, with this update you could add more speakers to it, but it'll be a mix of 2.0 something.
I don't buy it yet. I really don't buy it, because it's the same processor inside. The Mozart chips are the same, and they do everything, including Wi-Fi goes into it.
Yeah, but maybe it's the decoder then, though. It is kind of funny when you attach it to a TV, you can see what comes in and how many channels, and the output is just 2.0 whatever. So maybe it's also going to just be artificially limited, right, to get people to not sort of DIY strange setups.
I don't think it's more the people than dealers try to DIY something just to sell speakers, right?
Yeah.
But I honestly think that I start looking at the Connect Core as a smart receiver, more or less, that you are able to do, because it says 4 speakers if you go inside it. I don't know. I haven't tried 4 because I just haven't had a chance to do it.
Well, in the FAQ for now, it's not even available on the core yet officially. I think it's not. They updated the update to now say it's a staggered or a staged.
Yeah, it's a slow rollout, right?
Yeah,
that they have. So we haven't gotten it yet in the shop, and I didn't want to go around and start updating stuff, and I'll just wait till it rolls in, and that's it.
Yeah,
and deal with it from there.
The theater accepts it now, and you can add up to 4 speakers to it.
So you have a surround system, right? Because you have a center in front, and you have the 4 speakers. And the reach is pretty decent because I tried. I took the Emerge all the way to my bedroom, which is obviously across the apartment, and it still played the channel without any issue. So Wi-Fi, whatever the hidden Wi-Fi antenna that the software unlocked is a pretty substantial grade, I would say.
Craig says, help me understand this. So digital power link allows Mozart speakers to become surround sound. Does this also mean that speakers joining from another room will now be in sync? I think you're misunderstanding. First of all, surround, sure, but they can also be fronts, right? They don't have to be in the surround roles. So that you can just connect Mozart speakers now over PowerLink, over WiSA, and over digital PowerLink. And you can assign them any role just like you can with the other 2 connections. They will be in sync wherever they have...
they'll be in sync with the leader. So like if you have this connected to the core and you join... And here's the thing that I found. If you have you can't have the speaker stereo paired because for some reason they don't show up on the digital speaker link. They only shows the master, not the secondary. So if you have a couple emerges, because that's what I had to use, so I'll refer to those. I had a couple emerges sitting here in the back, and if the TV was off, you could utilize one of them as a regular speaker, and you could join it with the rest of the rooms as a lead speaker. However, if you turn on the theater and the digital power link automatically takes over priority role, so it'll cut off the feed. Obviously, you'll lose the rest of the link rooms because the sound is lost. And they'll just not join, but they will become a part of the theater's surround ecosystem. And then if you want to join those rooms additionally, again, you'd have to go to the theater, select the track, or if you had already turned on the theater, there was a reason. And then you just add those additional zones to the theater now instead of the Emerge that is now a rear left channel per se.
Yeah, but it is a channel, not a single point speaker at that point.
Right. It's just like you would have a regular BeoLab 18 or 17 or something.
So if let's say your balance in your bedroom is set as, I don't know, right surround. Yes, it's in sync, but every so often in your bedroom you just get...
Yeah.
Which is going to be really weird.
But yeah, you wouldn't use, like in a very open concept where you have those speakers around the house. That's the only place that I could see the digital power link strive. Other than that is I wouldn't call them a budget systems because with B&O there's really no budget that you can soberly call a budget. But you could technically have a system where you take a LG panel, put in a core, and hook up 4 speakers to it in surround mode. I'm still hell bent on the fact that you can do the center channel if you had an old whatever out of the PowerLink output, but I don't think that would be an issue. You could also most likely use a level as a center channel assigned, and then have a power link with your old 8000s to the left and right, and assign 2 more speakers in the back as emerges, or if you have 3 levels, I guess, and then or Beosound ones, whatever you can assign, mix and match them, and go from there. So it does open up quite a flexibility, and I also think that it slowly foreshadows the end of the ride for WiSA in our speakers portfolio, in my opinion. As far as the new speakers, they'll still have WiSA as a retro compatible system. I'm certain of it, because then you could connect it possibly to another set of speakers, or sort of amplifiers, receivers, or the LG WiSA transmitter on the back of the TV and so on. But I think that for B&O, I think they're going to go with the digital power link. Maybe not.
It's probably also easier to package this wirelessly than WiSA is.
Well, I think that they also bypassed the size limitation because, like into the emerge, where would you stick a freaking WiSA antenna, right? I'm sure that they're borderline what the possibilities are just with the BeoLab 8s as far as the size of the chassis where you stick all this shit. You still have these big freaking drivers sitting in there. You got to put all these boards, the power supply. Like it's pretty busy inside that little speaker.
Yeah, and you also
And
have metal on the side, so like,
and you
yeah,
have metal on the side, so it's kind of deft from both sides, but you can do the front and back, and
but that's where the
there's
drivers are.
there's a lot of things going on in there. So that's why I think that they're slowly phasing because of I guess going smaller and smaller within the technology that they have available, right? Because time goes by, everything just gets more condensed and more efficient. I think this is a much more sensible way to go.
Yeah, apparently you don't have to like match your speaker sets, from what I
No,
understand of it. But I would say it's best practice to. I mean,
yeah,
because if you have, I don't know, like an emerge and a balance, right? Like the power differential is crazy.
yeah. No, I agree with Christian that yeah, I would try to pair them, but if you don't have it, I think the nice thing about that, if you don't have it, you can still experiment with it, and then you can decide, well, you know what, shit, maybe I'll move Beosound one in the front, get another one, and maybe I'll just get the emerge, and maybe I'll get two emerges, and I'll put that one that I just borrowed for the experiment back to the bedroom. So there is a possibility of expanding the sales, even though I think that some salesmen would rather sell eights, 28s, 50s, and so on. But it's still money. It's still turnaround for B&O. It's still a system that people will expand on. So I don't know. I like it. I like the direction it's going. I think it's overdue a long time ago.
Well, another fun thing is that the Biolabs can all do this too. The Mozart Biolabs, the 28s, the 8s.
That's what I'm saying. That maybe the speakers will get even tinier.
Well, one of the nice things is that apparently, if you connect them like this through digital power link, the top user interface will correspond with the TV. So you can turn your TV on from the top of the speakers and
Yeah,
do the sound. So I
the
don't know,
volume
let's
control
say
works on every speaker. Yes,
your
which is pretty
TV is
cool.
over there, but your rear speaker's over here and your kitchen is here, right? You can turn your TV down without actually going to your remote because you can just use the top of the speaker now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that works because I tried that around and it's pretty cool. And you can actually pause. Like if you press play, it'll pause the YouTube stream. I
Yeah.
don't know how it'll work with the pucks because I don't have anything to test the puck with. It'll probably just mute the shit, and that's the end of it. But yeah, you can operate each of the individually on each speaker. You can control the master volume of the entire system, and I think that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
Because
that's
with Wi-Fi,
great.
it doesn't allow for that, right? It's just you have the dumb speaker sitting in the back, and if something's loud, you scramble and running for the remote. So I do like the idea of it. I know some people are not happy about it. I think that also there is a big goodbye party gonna be for Mr. Beosound stage. I think he's gonna leave the room gracefully pretty quick.
I still have so many weird issues with it where it just loses its my buttons or it turns everything on, but it doesn't go to the source selected at all. Like it just goes to LG channels for some reason. So
That's interesting.
also in the app you can like swipe the sources away you don't want, right? Next time
They
you
still
open
show up.
they're back, they're just pushed
Hmm.
down, but they're still in. And that toggle of enable in-app remote thing, just every time you go back in, it's off again.
Nah, I think that's app more or less than anything. That's definitely had because they kind of boned the remote from what the stage remote used to be with everything that was there was a great idea for that remote, and just they really lobotomized the interface for the remote control with just having up down left right go, back home and the sources, and sources don't even show most of the time that I find. So that's kind of touche, and I don't not a big fan of that. And I understand, but I think that what I sense out of it is it's that there's an attitude now towards this product already that, okay, well, fuck, we know we're going to discontinue it, so let's just not burn too much time on this, guys. Let's make sure the Mozart works 100%, right? And I think that a lot of the people that are going to own the
It
stage
makes
are going to,
sense, but it's
yeah.
kind of like you're still selling this other thing.
But that's what I'm saying. That all the people that are now just not just stuck, but also purchased whatever the leftover stages they are, they're just gonna, be stuck in a dust of Mozart train rolling by them, and it's not fair to begin with, and also I don't think it bodes well for B&O as far as retention of clientele, because you have that product, and like there has been people that had when the theater came out, there was the trade-in program for the theater, right?
Yeah.
And if those people had bad experience with the stage at that point, there's no way that they would go and trade for something that is now 3.5 times more or less the price of this what they bought it, right? Because if they bought it the silver stage, it would have been like what, maybe 1900 Canadian back in the day, before like the price increases came up. So all of a sudden, like you're spending a $10,000, now it's a 5 times more investment. Am I sure that I'm going to do that? Am I going to have those same issues? And so that wasn't the case, but it is now.
KCBR says, could they Mozartify the stage and offer trade-in for a new one? They could. Whether they'll do that is another question.
I think that would be too much cost for redesigning the boards into the because the ASC board, like, it's smaller and it's a different connector, and like you need to basically redesign the entire main board or make a new main board for the stage. But at that point, the stage has been around for what, 6 years now, let's say 5.
Yeah, something like that.
So at this point,
2018, I think.
yeah. So at this point, like, well, we probably can compress these technologies and make it even more efficient, and we're going to present it within a different design. And that's probably what the case will be, because, well, I know for a fact there's enough room inside the bloody thing for stage for extra antennae if they needed to add some to do the thing, but the board would have to be changed, and I don't think that is in a logical business decision that you would do that to an older product, because I think then you open a whole fucking can of worms between the people that have and don't have, right? And if you did that, then I think you would have to design that board so it fits exactly into the chassis of the old stage, that people could then have let's say an upgrade value, that you can come in and pay your dealer another $1,000 or $1,500 to get your board swapped out for the Mozart platform, and then you're good for another decade, right? That would make sense, but I don't think that is the avenue that B&O will take.
No,
and I
they'll
don't
make
think that
a new
it's
product
sober.
if they even want this sort of market. I personally think they mostly will make something similar again, mostly because of the contour.
I think the contour will bite the dust with it if they're not, and unless they're going to come up with something that. I think the contour was a big lesson for them too, because of LG's unpredictability with the panel redesigns and new upgrades, right? And all of a sudden, you sit in all these contour chassis that the TVs are no longer made for as a client, as a B&O dealer per se. So like we ordered them to match the TVs, and I think that what that should have been done is ordered an extra spare panel for not just each TV but just one to have, because they will go, and like like BeoVision Eclipse original OG Mark 1, good luck finding a C10 whatever the heck it was for the panel on that, or C7. Yeah, it's not happening.
It's 2017.
So even LG doesn't have them anymore to send. I know, because we've tried. So that's an eye opener, I think, in that way, that you kind of can't make enclosures for TVs anymore like you used to in the yesteryears. So, but yeah, I don't think the stage is going to be here for maybe another year if they have it, and then that's it.
I mean, for now, it's kind of the perfect bedroom thing to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I still like it. It's just it's gotten software issues that never used to be there, which is kind of strange.
I also find that LG pulled some fucked up numbers on the goddamn updates there recently, man. Like, I don't know if ever anybody. Well, I guess if you're using the TV the way you use, you never really have a reason to go into the B&O app menu on the Harmony per se and diddle and fiddle with the speakers like we do in the store because we move shit around. But bro, you open the B&O app from the remote directly, right?
Mm-hmm.
It comes on, you get 2 seconds, and it goes to HDMI 1.
Huh.
Automatically. Like, doesn't matter. Boom, HDMI, what in the hell? Go back, HDMI 1, and you have to go and quickly go to like sound or whatever you want to do. And it opens the menu and then the TV sticks in there. And it's not the B&O app. And it does it on every single panel in our shop.
Weird.
Even with the LG's menu on its own.
Yeah.
But there was a new update that came around last week that I've seen a couple TVs updated. So maybe that was fixed because I haven't really played with it. But I will do it tomorrow, most likely.
A stage Mark II will never be a thing for different reasons than the design and that sort of thing, by the way. Yeah. If you make a new board for like a stage, right? You would, as a company, would have to file with the FCC and the whatever, the ECC or whatever in Europe again, and have everything tested for like radiation and that sort of thing. So you're almost better off as a company just making something new.
Because it just makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, also any redesign to the chassis that you would need to make, you might as well call it something else. I don't know. Like I said at the very, very beginning, maybe they'll call it the BeoCenter stage. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it could be.
Because since we're reusing old names, BeoCenter is an old name, so it could just be BeoCenter stage.
I think what they would do is they would probably implement the same deal inside it that the current BeoConnect core has. One HDMI input, no more pass-through because there's no point for it. One PowerLink output if you needed the sub, and then you can buy a whole bunch of different speakers to connect them via digital PowerLink.
Yeah. I mean, I would even be okay if they limited it, right? Like just add 2 extra rear channels or something.
Mm-hmm.
People say they want a sub out, but they don't mean a B&O sub.
Yeah, they just need a regular RCA out, basically.
Yeah, but like, would you comply with that as B&O, right? Because then you're essentially saying go buy some other brands thing. And if it sounds bad, it's kind of on us, which is like, you don't want that kind of worms.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it. I don't think the sub, like if for sub out, I would just put a PowerLink out. And then, yes, people would still have an option to go with something like Canton or Bowers and Wilkins or whatever.
Because the amount of people I've had over the years on my Beosound stage sort of video, or plural, that said, I want a sub out. And it's like really? Do you want to spend more on your sub than on the soundbar?
Yeah, to me, that never made sense. And I find the stage is more than appropriate for the amount of sound that it puts out.
Yeah, but even so, right? Like a BeoLab 19, that's the only sub there is. Like, do you really want to pay, what, $4,000 for that?
Yeah, for $4,000 US for sure.
Like, I don't even know what it is at the moment. Like, I have one, but I wouldn't really buy one for that purpose.
Not with the stage. Like, if you're in the Lab 19 money, you're different money, bro.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't buy a stage. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You're not stage money at that point.
I mean,
like, you're more or less, if I were to do it, like, in my opinion, the stage, like you said, it's perfect bedroom TV and a small living room because it does have that effect that you want and the bass is sufficient and good enough, right? But for a room like this, the stage is just it's a good sounding television. It has nothing to do with the surround effects or anything else that it'll do. It just sounds good. It'll have good bass for whatever, you consume as I would say more or less like kitchen content. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Like to me, I don't know, maybe I'm just too right because I have the 90s in a theater and I just like I perceive sound in a completely different fashion than normally you would. But maybe 10, 15 years ago I would have been happy with it because that's all I would have. But, I'm fucking dying on the inside to get these speakers out of the boxes, bro. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. And I had all the plugs out, but I had to put them all back because, the cat and screws, and I don't want to be looking for shit. So, and there's no power in them, so it doesn't matter. But they're dingly, right?
Yeah.
So I had to put everything back, and I'm waiting for that bloody electrician tabak.
Oh, by the way, B&O, if you're listening, if Weisse goes, could you please make a Mozart module a la Receiver 1 for older PowerLink and Weisse speakers?
I don't know if they would ever revisit that, my friend.
No, I know, but it would be lovely because you could tie it all into a theater once again. Like, it probably can be quite a bit smaller, too.
But what would you do, like a Weisse transmitter?
No, just the receiver for it, right? So you
Or
can
the receiver?
like
I
PowerLink
see,
to
I see.
Mozart adapter, so and like just a board with I don't know, maybe extra power plug. Because there's so many people that swear by their like 8000s or like Steve with his Pentas, right?
I've had people, that come in to put in the 50s, bro, and he's got 8000s in the back. I'm like, you know what? At least let's change the grills on them because they look like, the socks around your ankles when you wear those like under they just crinkle the fuck up. Like, we need to change that at least, man. And then they sold the house, moved them, and I think now it's BeoLab 8s in the back instead.
I mean,
Couldn't take care of it.
these latest enhancements do have me thinking about buying some 8s.
Did those grills just tickle in your elbow hard?
Well, it's not just that. Like, if the core even does something a la Speaker 4 type, right? I'd happily have some, like, 18s and 8s in my bedroom. That's plenty of bass.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I don't, like, could I use a sub? Sure. Would I need it? No.
Ralph Erickson asks, could you plug stage via cord to theaters for longevity and surround? No, I would never do that. It wouldn't work. But Almando has a box that you can make a core as a center channel, and then the rest of the speakers will work with it, connected to that Almando box. But I don't know. I can't say that I had a negative or a positive experience with Almando. For me, it was a 50-50. Most we've sold, we had to come back to, and some that we've sold, we had swapped for the BeoConnect core.
I quite honestly think, as a non-shop, as a consumer, it's kind of hard to communicate with these people. And I don't know if it's the influx from shops, but also the app is kind of like, it's not the most logical, and there's so many settings, and like, my sister has it, right? Like, and every time I go there, something has changed. And it's always like, I don't know what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And often she claims to have not touched it. So
I never buy those claims, bro. There's so many things that started, quote unquote, misoperating while, I was just looking at what was doing it. What was it doing?
I mean, the thing I will say is it turns on every time. Like, there's never no sound.
Yeah, we've had issue with that. We had an issue with one Almando that every time you would pop in speakers to it, it would drop them. Like, they played for fucking maybe 5-10 minutes, and then they just poof, green on both speakers. So I kind of don't believe anymore into that Almando thing. Now, specifically with the fact that we have a solution for it from B&O, I would not even entertain that idea whatsoever. Now, one thing that I do have a complaint for B&O, and I'm sure that, it's better for Steve anyways, that they do not make a trigger cable with an RJ45. What I mean by that, or RCA to RJ45 with the trigger. What I mean by that, back in the yesteryears of BeoLab 2, there was a female DIN to 2 RCAs with the trigger. And you could take that, plug it into the receiver pre-outs for the sub, plug it into the trigger, and then the receiver would basically behave like a PowerLink trigger for the subwoofer, so it would work with the system. Now, the reason why I complain about that is I don't like the systems, but we do that anyways because there's the control systems that we sell is the Savant. It works fine. I don't see myself ever using a fucking iPad to navigate television with. I just can't fathom that. I really find it bothersome, but there's a lot of people that appreciate that. Good for them. You know, to each their own. Everybody lives different. But there's no way to hook up anything to it unless you do it from the RCA line outputs, right?
Yeah.
And the reliability with that I had as far as the experience with the BeoLab 8s on the line inputs from, you know, the recent software fixed it, but it wasn't nothing smooth sailing. And sometimes you just can't trust the sons of bitches because it would always be the right speaker that would reset itself to left PowerLink, and then you just have 2 left channels. It's really messed up. So if you set it into the PowerLink mode, if you set it into the PowerLink mode, for some reason with the trigger, it just works better than the line sense. And I make those cables in the shop because why not? Like, let's just make the life easier for the boys to do it. But I think that B&O should consider hard consider introducing that as a part number so we can just order that RJ45 to RCA with a 3.5 mil jack trigger. That's all. Because I hack them up from fucking IR blasters, right? Because I take the IR blaster monoplug, and I take the yellow and the ground or the braided shield from the PowerLink, and I solder those together, and I solder the brown and green for left and right, and the grounds off of them. Heat shrink tube it, everything looking nice, and then you have a cable that actually works, and you can do, you can do the entire surround system out of those PowerLink cables.
Maybe you should send Steve an email and ask if he can, like, he doesn't do individual international sales, but surely if you say, can you give me 100, he may do it.
I think it should make him. I think B&O should make that order and make it available, because if he's not allowed or able to sell to North America, like,
yeah, but
these systems
all I'm saying, right, like from a Steve perspective, with like the personal things going on, if it's a cable or two that requires a trip to the post office to send it, is quite a big difference when like a shop says, well, chance it, give me 150 of these things.
Yeah, if you do a bulk order, it's different.
Yeah.
Wow, so the Beosound 1 just turned off because I have it unplugged. So it's been an hour and a half that it stayed on, hoping that I would plug it back in. Too bad.
I mean, so maybe if you're a shop or an installer that where this is a common thing, see what the minimum order is for that to work, right?
Yeah, but I would highly consider as a B&O
because it's just straight up annoying to have to like solder every like job you have instead of just going to your bin and just grab a few.
Well, but that's what I do. I make a bin of them, right? So the guys just grab them, but I still spend time hunched over the soldering iron. Not that I mind it, right? Like, it's in the back room, whatever. I got enough light, got enough, things to listen to and whatever.
He's in the tower.
Oh yeah. That's it. She's in there. Good. Oh, make room. There you go. You can see her now. Can you? No. Anyway. There you go. Let her rip. So
she seems comfy.
Yeah, that's her lookout spot now. But because the sun is falling where it's falling, and it's right all over my. Actually, I could undo the window so she can start looking. There's way more shit going on this street than my girlfriend's house, so she's just mesmerized by the amount of cars and traffic, right? It's just, I don't know. I look at it too myself, for God's sakes.
My subjects.
That's exactly it. Oh, man, the things.
No, but some, I guess you could do a sort of stereo 4 with a transmitter still, I guess. But it would be nice if, like, I don't know, I buy a set of 8s for the bedroom and they're like near the sort of bedroom headboard where you can just go like I don't have to like get my remote out wherever it is.
That's a
in the
very nice
sheets.
feature. I really like that idea of it. That's when that interface actually makes complete sense, you know?
I potentially thought about adding the sets to like the living room because I have 2 spaces where I walk by often and I can do one of those. And there's currently nothing there.
That's a one heck of a Halo solution, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a very
That's my
expensive
dilemma. I don't know.
essence, essentially.
Exactly. That's my dilemma here. I don't know where to put the Halo remote in here. Because everywhere I want to put it, there's no plugs. And that means I'd have to, like, the ceiling is obviously out of question to run shit through because it's just straight concrete. But here somewhere I
Is
could
it a
hide
wall
it
mount or a
also.
regular?
It's a wall mount one, but I think that the cheapest solution to the problem that I currently have with it is just go in the exploded view and order the goddamn battery pack and redo it from wall mount to a table stand again, or just do it back to a table stand and that's it. Because that's another thing that bugs me a little bit with the app. Why can you not have the wall mount version of the Halo on the bloody app? It's only the
Look,
table stand one.
I have a brand new phone, right? And the battery is so new it lasts literally 2 days without charging. So that's amazing. But my B&O app still can't load a picture properly of any theater Mozart thing.
You know what's weird? I came across it with one guy in he's got an anthracite theater, and I've been there a few times and changed the picture. It never did.
All the pictures are aluminium and oak. It doesn't even matter if that page even loads, right? Like, you press the black one, aluminium and oak. You press the gold one, aluminium and oak shows up.
We got all the colors, but as long as you like the aluminium and oak.
Yeah,
That's so messed up.
It's still so broken. I have a feeling it must be. Surely it must be something with my account on their end. And I don't know what it is because I can't change it. I've changed everything I could. I've changed countries. I've changed phones. I've changed devices. I've changed.
They can open an account.
Yeah, I may
and
try.
Just migrate all the shit there and see what happens.
But it's tied to an email address, obviously, that I use. So it's just annoying. It's like I don't understand like what's going on because it can't be me at this point anymore.
If you delete the account, I've never done it, but if you delete the account, can you recreate the same account, or it will never let you?
I don't know. We have to ask their tech support people, I guess, at some point.
Because my recommendation would have been, I guess, you just take and delete, like move everything to hers, delete your account, wait 48 hours, maybe 24 hours. I don't know how long the cache will clear on the servers, right? And then I would go in there and hit it with the same address, create an account with the same address, same credentials as you did before, and then start migrating the product from her app to yours and see if that fixes it.
Yeah, because like it's to the point where I even joined beta to try and fix it, and I left beta to try and fix it, and I joined.
Well, but here's what's fucked up about this. The client that I've done it on, I've done it on my phone through account control.
Yeah.
And it changes on mine.
Yeah.
And then he opens his iPad and I'm like, it's fucking silver again.
Yeah.
And I go in there and I try to change it. It doesn't, but it changes on mine. So there's something that is locked in. I don't know. I'm not the script writer or programmer at all, but I honestly think that that's it. That it could fix it.
Yeah, but it's on their end, not mine.
Well, yeah, you can do nothing about that. But I think the only way to, I guess, the famous good old workaround is I would try to delete the account. It's not the end of the world, and try to recreate it.
Yeah,
or make a bullshit email and put it on a bullshit email for now and see what happens, and then migrate it back to yours.
It's just one of these things where, like, as per usual, right? Like, software on their end does something weird, and the only option for you to fix it is spend quite a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, to get everything off my account onto a new account. Like, even just the setup, right? Because, like, on the device, nothing changes. But it's going to take 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't feel like spending the time on this nonsense. Like, fortunately, it doesn't impede the use, but it is kind of annoying.
No, I agree. I guess I have way harder OCD than you, because I'd be like, fuck that, man. You better be showing what I own.
Yeah. I mean, one of the nice things about the iPhone 16 is that you have 3 buttons here now, right? And
So you get volume and screen off?
no, one is like you can put whatever there. And that's just my B&O app button now.
I had that set up on the Samsung for a while, but I took it off.
I mean, yeah, it works quite well. Because I use it regularly. Well, not in the last 2 weeks, because I was out of power like 50% of the time. But
yeah, I know, but I do the same. My weekly reports are about 2.5 hours on the app. I spend it a week. Obviously, it's because I work with it, so I'm always at the clients' places and setting them up and whatever have you. But yeah, I had some weirdness going on. But nothing weird with my system here. I actually pulled a hardwire into the theater. I'd never had issues, but why not? I need to upgrade my gateway, which is stupid, and I'm not in a mood right now to spend $1,200 or $900 to unlock the license.
Yeah,
because I didn't do it, and yeah, it is what it is. I don't understand why it's so much, but it is. It's gonna be cool when it's done soon enough. First, I need to get a sofa. Then I'll worry about the fucking light commands. I need to sit on something to give commands from. So
yeah, or just get an electrician of your own out and see if you can fix it.
Well, and that's that, right? Like, if I do that, is that gonna fucking piss them off? The problem is that I need access to the master breaker, because I don't have a master breaker in my apartment. I can't switch power into the breaker box. So that's the only reason why I'm dependent on these people. Because otherwise, if I could shut this shit down, I would have just replaced it already by now.
Yeah. Is there any indication on when they are coming for it? Because weren't they supposed to come like 2 weeks ago?
It's been fucking 2.5 weeks, man. And at least, the feels good is that I don't have the heaters not working, because some people in the building don't have the heaters working because they're electric. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess, yeah. Sorry, I complained. Call this. Like, no, fix my fucking plugs, man. I'm pissed because I want my shit to work, man. Could have been 2 weeks listening to the speakers.
Can't you get like a long extension cord in the meantime?
That was the solution from them. Like, fuck you. I don't want no extension cord. And the problem with that I have, that I don't know what the extent of whatever they need to do, right? Because if they find something that, a drywaller fucking rifle the cable through and it's fucked, and they have to open up the wall, bro, I don't want that shit to be done around the speakers being opened, right? And then what? I'm going to have to call people in to pack them back in the box. Like, it's such a headache. So that's why I'm just waiting with all this shit, pissed, till it gets resolved. Soon enough, hopefully. She's sleeping in the little basket there. Good for her. So yeah, it's I'm not happy about it, but once it's gonna be done, it's gonna look very nice, very, very nice. I might take this goofy ass lamp out of there because I bang my fucking head on it every day, and it's tiring, and it doesn't serve any purpose once it's all finished, because it's gonna be a weird zone. Like, you're gonna have a light above your head, kind of weird. So I'm thinking of just gonna like hit up the IKEA and get like some sort of a lighter fixture. I don't know if you can see that. And then put it across so it illuminates the B&O art, and go from there.
You could put a spotlight in or something.
That's what I was thinking, like a triple spotlight with the offset that ding dong, right? So you can go further up, kind of have it centered with the art, and just light it up. The pictures did bring down the echo quite a bit, because I put that the foam, the B&O packaging foam, essentially, the Ripley one. So yeah, every night I did something here. Now I'm running out of things to do because the one that is going to take the longest is just tuning all of it and playing with it. I'm still debating, do I unpack the Lab 4s out of the box and place them here somewhere just for the shits and giggles? If I'm in the beta, I might as well just utilize most of the power link connections and see check for the stability of it. Because apparently I have just gotten installed another newer software on all of it, so we'll see. And I think it's just a stability improvements on already what's launched. There's nothing crazy new.
By the way, 48% of the audience gets up before 6:30 a.m. Holy
Good
shit.
for y'all. Good for y'all.
Holy shit.
We're all old people. What time do you get up? Later?
Yes.
No, it's early birds that catch the worm. So, yep. Yeah, I usually get up at 6:30.
I guess I'm more like a
5:30.
bat, and I need to catch the like the insects at night or something.
I usually go to bed around 1, but I do get up 6:30, and it depends. Like if I work with Max, it's 5:30 because I got to be at the shop at 6:30. That sucks. But then I'm done at 3, right? But then I make a mistake of going into the shop, and Kareem always has a list of things that you need to get done. Fuck. So I'm like, you know what? I'll do it. I love what I do, so I don't see a problem in it. But sometimes it's
That
just
helps.
like, oh man,
That helps for sure.
And yeah, repairs. We got a couple things that I still need to fix up. We have a guy that came. It's some sort of client from Toronto. They sent us the Beosound Edge, and they want to rebuild it because the edge is scratched a little bit. I had to go around it with the fucking flashlight to see the damage, and I couldn't see anything. And apparently, it's been repainted already somehow. Whoever repainted that, bro, like you have some serious talent.
Wait, they painted it?
Yeah, but it's like same anthracite. It's the Saint Laurent limited edition.
Oh, it's that contrast edition one.
I think so. No, it's Saint Laurent. So it had the marble grill on it.
Oh, okay. That's because
But
way
it's
back, like they had
anthracite.
they had a contrast edition, which would almost looks like a sort of granity kind of texture.
Yeah, so and I really don't want to fuck with it, like because to replace the grill. I'm not the grill. Sorry, the grill is easy to just peel off.
Yeah,
but to replace the fucking ring, dude, everything is attached to that ring. I have to take everything out. And where do I do this? I don't have a jig that I can hold it in so it doesn't get fucked up, because there is no way. I personally don't believe there is a way to do it without a little bit of damage, because you have to flip it at some point, and I just have to see. And then the thing is, like, okay, I pad the fuck out of the thing, right? Now what about
like a
the static?
round ottoman that just fits in the middle.
Yeah, but what about the static? If you put foam and shit to pad it, right? Because you don't want to scratch the aluminium. Like, how do you do that? Or what, do I tape the aluminium with the masking tape and like a little bit more foam around it? I don't know. So I hope that the guy just decides that, let's keep it the way it is. But I think they're gonna still do it. So that's gonna be a process and a half, where I'll spend half a day at least inside. Because I've never seen the Edge in real life till it showed up. Because by the time I started working at Quebec Sun, it was discontinued, and it's cool how it works. I really like it, but it's not a speaker for me. Like it's definitely interesting, but then again, it's also, I don't know, a bit dangerous with the little tilting and stuff, because sometimes you lean, like you just leaned it a little bit, and all of a sudden the music started going up hard. So yeah, it's a great product, but it's gonna be scary moment to switch the bloody entire ring.
Sorry.
The entire ring. So yeah. But anyways.
Yeah,
that's for the next week, so we'll see how that goes.
It is doable somehow, but it's just kind of hard.
Yeah, well, they show you that, but those two spheres where the driver is and everything, that's already put together from the exploded view.
Yeah.
So at least BeoTalk starts at 5 a.m. now. Well, for another 2 weeks, right? Because Europe is already changed. My dad already tripping this morning, called me. I was like, "Oh, are you guys changing times?" I'm like, "No, it's just going for the
But
worst of
5
it here."
a.m. surely is like Australia or New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's what, like 9:30 p.m. in Europe.
In Europe, yeah. Yeah, you're an early bird, Ralph. That's for sure. If you're watching us at 5:30 in the bloody morning. But yeah, so that's my project. I think this week, sometime. Well, probably in 2 weeks before like the chassis needs to show up still first.
Yeah, getting it to not touch like the inside of this sort of sensor panel
That's
thing.
what I'm saying, right? Like, how do you pull this thing out?
It's because with the driver, like that's a 10-inch driver, right? Like this whole
Yeah.
middle section is quite heavy.
Oh, it's fucking heavy, bro. There's amps and stuff inside, right? There's the power supply. There's the motors and shit for that goofy base port nonsense.
Which I still am quite sad about that they haven't reused that in any other thing else.
I think it's coming. I think it's coming for something that we don't know about yet. Maybe that's another solution that they're going to do something for the 100th anniversary, right? That they make an active port, active speaker, I guess. Active. It's going to be a double A, BeoLab double A.
Yeah, because, well, I mean, there is a huge lead time, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think this BeoLink surround was in the pipeline, what, 3 years ago?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Because it never really made sense that a balance had 2 Ethernet ports.
Wow, but the first mention of it was the 90s, right? But they run on a different protocol anyway. So that digital power link, I don't think it even completely implies to what this is. It's a different standard and protocol.
Yeah.
But the first time the DPL logo showed up anywhere was on the core.
For future use. And
For
it never
use,
came.
and it became a link eye socket out of it.
I
And
bet you
then,
the original core doesn't work with it either. It's a different standard, most likely.
I don't think it ever had a DPL. Not definitely in that sense.
Yeah.
Because you still hook up the 90s into the power link socket off the core if you were to do it. I've never done it. I don't think we have anybody that has 90s on a core. It's always on something better. So yeah, we'll see. I'm so looking forward to getting these speakers up. Now I'm really debating about the 9000. It's out of the picture. Well, no, actually, you can
No,
see
you
it
can
just
see
a
it in
little
the
bit.
corner.
So do I leave it here? But then again, I have to set up the speakers and situate everything to know how much space and I have around them, and because the couch needs to come in here still at some point. And then do I put it here on the floor stand, or do I hang it in the foyer, in the hallway on the wall, and it'll clear from the laundry room door? But it would be perfect because on the other side of the door is the AV cabinet. So I could essentially put a bloody converter inside there, an LML converter, so I could run these speakers, and the coax is in there, and comes out here, so I could have the coax go directly into the speakers. But then, do I fuck around and make more holes into the everything just for a year to make it look good? But I'm also in the mode like, you know what? I've been fucking camping for 2 years in that little bullshit apartment.
Yeah.
And I really want to have my stuff set up the way I want to have it set up, regardless of how much time I'm going to spend here. And at the end of the day, once I get the visas, I'm not retarded. I know that I have to be out of here by October 30th. If not, I renew the lease. So if I have to stay longer, then I don't want to sit here a year and a half later and be like, fuck, I should have just put the 9000 on the wall where I wanted it first time. You know what I mean? So I just might do it. maybe live stream
Can't
the
you just
install because
attach
it
it
wouldn't
to
be
a
that bad.
core or your moment or something and just multi-room it in case you want to use it?
Well, that would be the cleanest if I put it on the wall, because the converter can go directly on the other side in my closet where the router and shit is. So it's already, I wouldn't even need a switch. I just put another network cable, and it's good. And
Yeah.
then run the. I would still probably put a link eye on the 90s. So technically, I think I would either have to bring the moment in here to have a link to have an IR, but that
Mm-hmm.
makes no sense because I would want to control the 90s, right? So I would have to have a link eye. And I guess the only reason why I would have the moment so I can turn on the CD via IR on the fucking 9000, right? So it starts playing. So then it'll start playing into itself into the converter, but then I can just pull the SPDIF, and with the link eye, when you send CD, it already triggers the 90s into the SPDIF command, right, or SPDIF
Mm.
source. So, and then I have the volume control, and then the CD can be there playing, but I get the sound coming out of the 90s here. And then if I did give a shit about having it to join, then I could join all the rest of the rooms. But when does that happen? On fucking Christmas? Like when I
How
load it
often do
up with
you
those six
actually
CDs?
listen to CDs?
It used to be very often with the 90s setup, and I had the SPDIF ran. I actually utilized it quite a bit. I would listen to it at least, I don't know, maybe once or twice a week sometimes.
But you have Tidal now. Now you can listen to everything in Atmos because you have a much more capable TV solution.
I understand and respect that, but there is some albums that will always sound better on the CD or the record. Well, even CD better because there is no interruption, And like Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, there's always this cut between the songs on the streaming services that just it can be taken away for some goofy reason. I don't know why, but you can have that unified experience on the disc, right? And I still have 500 CDs, man. So load it up with something that looks nice. It's a nice piece of decor, and the installation wouldn't be that tragic of it to put it where I kind of sort of want to like to have it.
I think my moment eventually will become my record player streamer, where I can just join the whole house to the record that's on the record
Right?
player.
It makes sense.
I
It
mean,
makes
it's
sense. So
also
you don't want
small
to throw
enough.
it
It has
out.
RCA in, so it's quite easy, right?
So yeah, I took my humidor off the moment floor stand and I put the moment on the floor stand in the foyer. So now it's sitting there plugged into to itself, and it's not doing anything.
Yeah.
It's consuming power right now, which I pay for because it was
Same.
all included.
But I
I
guess I
don't
just
care.
had a 6-day discount.
Fuck.
God, that was quite something. So much water. Holy crap.
You haven't seen that much yet, eh?
Well, the wind was like impressive, but like, how would you say? Like, this would be like if I felt like a pirate, I would be sailing through this kind of, right, like on like sideways on a big old boat. But like, holy crap, the amount of water. I think it rained like 14 inches in like 6 hours.
Holy fuck.
So like 35 centimeters of water in 6 hours.
That's insane. Where does that all go, man?
Well, everywhere. Like, we had a pool on the lawn, essentially, in certain areas. Where, like, from the neighbor's fence to the pool was actually just water.
Fuck.
The pool obviously overflowed. Because, like, I drained it some, but I didn't expect to have to drain it that much.
Jesus Christ.
So, like, literally so much rain that it just came over the edge.
Fuck, did you put water wings on your 50s or what?
No, they were good by about that much.
Jesus.
Like it didn't get to the big sliding doors because the house is a bit taller or sits a bit higher. So
Jesus Christ.
that is quite a thing. But like, just the
And you don't
amount.
have a second floor to put him onto, right? You're fucked.
If it had come to the house, I would have just put it all on the like kitchen islands.
Oh man, you'd be sore as shit moving 450s on an island.
Sure, but like it saves
Adrenaline,
you the...
adrenaline would take it for you. That's for sure. Oh, that would be such a shit show.
I mean, the grass was so saturated that I had to go out during the storm just to have a look around the house, right? See if everything's still attached and that sort of thing.
Jesus Christ.
And I stepped onto the grass and I sort of went down to my ankle into the grass. And it's not because the grass wasn't mowed. It was mowed and it was short. It was just like the ground gave out. There was like no support there.
Sponge. That's insane.
Like I dropped down like into the dirt like that much. It's crazy. The amount
it's a good
of
welcome
water.
party, I guess. Yeah, it's hard to explain, I guess, because you have to see it to believe it. Like I've never seen those rains. Like, but when I was in Jacksonville 2 years ago, August or July 2022, when I got caught with one of those torrential rains, like you cannot even drive. You have to stop. So,
well, if you had that much rain right there, right, like you would have gotten out of the car because it would have come into the car.
mm-hmm.
Because 14 inches is below the bottom of your door. Or, sorry, above the bottom of your door.
Yeah. Yeah, the water was getting pretty high there too. I was like, holy fuck, man. Like, this is insane. Because you can't lose the car in this shit immediately. And that's that. Thank God I'm not one of those electric people, because those don't tend to like the salt water in the battery port. Or not even battery port, in the battery altogether.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it was a big storm. We turned out to be hit pretty head on.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, when the rain died down, the wind started picking up, and
so it blew all the water.
Yeah, we had like 100-mile-an-hour wind, so like 160-kilometer-an-hour wind.
That's insanity. Did your roof hold up? Everything's good?
Yeah. The house is built for it, and like inside, since we have these like storm windows or hurricane-rated windows, every so often you heard, and that was it.
Yeah, but outside is like fucking cows are flying.
Pandemonium. I mean, the neighbor's fence just blew away, right? Like there were pine trees that were snapped literally like that and just dropped, like in the neighbor's yard on the other side.
Fuck. You sit there with the wine glass and or a cognac and a cigar and said, I'm good.
I was so happy I had all the trees around me trimmed. Like nothing really is within reach of the house, because if you went down the neighborhood, there's like these live oaks that are like, I don't know,
a few 100 years old, I guess, or
something like that. They were like, I want to say about 20 meters tall, that just like derooted and fell over. Like the ground was so saturated, like even the roots didn't grab, like they were grabbing onto water. There was nothing there anymore.
Well, yeah, that's insane.
So a lot of trees that fell over didn't even snap because of the wind. There was just like the whole root system came up because like
there's nothing.
So much water
and so much wind pressure, I guess. That it just goes. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And also, for some reason, a lot of Floridians put off tree trimming to later in the year because it's expensive. So it's sort of like,
but is it more expensive than your new roof?
Apparently, that's insurance problem. I don't understand this at all, right? Like,
no, neither do I. I would rather take precautions than deal with the consequences. Fuck. Especially with the gear you have in the house, man. Imagine the windows go away. Now you got a fucking wind party in the house. What do you do?
Yeah, there were a few times where having a smoke in the garage when this party of wind started. And we also had the garage door updated to like fully storm rated and that sort of thing. But you're standing in the garage and all of a sudden and you literally see the door coming closer to you by like a quarter of an inch, right?
Fucking hell.
And it's like you feel the vibrations in like the foundation, and it's like, oh,
That's a lot of stress.
yeah.
That's one of my things that I think that if I'm gonna move, if once I move to Florida, I think I'm gonna find something that is an apartment up high, higher up at least 3-4 floors.
I mean, in terms of like actual building damage, there wasn't a whole lot. Like, there is damage to buildings, no doubt, but it's usually shit flying into buildings or like roof tiles flying off and then getting more like saturation damage. Or it's like broken windows and that sort of thing. Or it's like a giant ass tree falls on the wrong side of your roof and your rafters give out, that sort of thing. I did see a few trees that landed on houses, and the most damage it did was like bent the gutter. But because the pitch is right, like, so the roof just sort of like lands on it and lays like
Yeah.
which is a pain in the ass to move, don't get me wrong. I did see the underside of a house.
Your house?
No, so we were without power, and after 48 hours, you start to get a bit nervous because, like, fortunately, our fridges and freezers are new. So like, our frozen stuff was still frozen. And we managed to borrow a generator from some friends, which is less than ideal because you have to have doors open to run all the extension cords from outside, because otherwise you're going to die from carbon monoxide poisoning inside, right?
Can you not build one in your garage and get a freaking just an exhaust out?
You can, if you pre-think of these things.
Well, now that you've been through this, are you considering doing or having a generator?
Yeah, but I'm probably going to go solar and whole home battery. Because the other thing that turned out, there was no fucking fuel anywhere.
Yeah, you need to have a storage of that too. A couple jerry cans, I guess, if you want to run.
Well, we had some, but day 2, there was no fuel. There was no gasoline anywhere to be had.
Fucking hell.
I mean, on the end of day 2, we found Costco had some fuel left because the car was half out and the generator was running out. And you go there, but everybody else knows that. And that was the only place with fuel. And the line was literally a mile.
Yeah, I could imagine.
So there was like 2.5 hours. So that was... yeah, interesting. So I didn't expect there to be such a hunt for fuel. Like, otherwise, generator, whatever, no problem, right? But like, if you can't get fuel, you're still like, because here the sun never goes away. So if you'll have a whole home battery where you like maybe get enough power for all your auxiliary things except for AC, fine. That's easily done.
What about, so if you put the solar panels up on a roof, aren't they gonna get all fucked up next storm that comes?
Weirdly, they're more reinforced than most of the normal roofs are, because the added structure they put on.
Oh, really? So they can survive this?
So if you see most of the houses where parts of the roofs have blown away, the solar panels are almost always still in place.
Interesting.
Like, you may crack one, but if you have it set up right, you only lose the power generation of one solar panel. But like I was going to say, I saw the underside of a house. Because where we managed to borrow the generator, on the road there was like this lake, and the water had come to the houses. And it had like waterlogged the soil so much that this one house, the foundation held, but the whole house tipped. Like 30 degrees forward, like that.
Oh, no.
So I saw the underside of the foundation.
That's crazy.
I mean, the house was otherwise in decent shape, right? Like, you didn't see any massive cracks or anything. It was literally just a house, like, tipped forward like that.
Yeah, but you ain't living in that no more, fuck.
Like the driveway up, the garage was sort of still attached, but like where the front door was just like in the air.
Tilted. Wow. Yeah, you can run away from water. Fire you can, but water you can't really run away from. It's
It's
too
partially
quick.
why, like, honestly, why I don't live near water. Like,
Yeah, because you get a lot of it there. Fudge.
I mean, my neighbor was also saying, like, we're on, like, on this slight hill that is the highest in the whole neighborhood, right? So if we're flooded, everybody is.
Fuck. So what did you have for music? Did you, I guess you drained out your A5 for the time being?
Yeah. So that went on day 3. We had some power back through that generator, but the generator wasn't like sufficient that you could just have everything going.
Things.
So,
Yeah.
so like evening light were powered by Milwaukee Tool,
Nice.
and those was it AX 6.0 batteries on those like on that round cylinder light that lasts forever. It used like 25% of that A 6.0 battery, whatever it is, and it was on for like 20 hours.
That's cool.
I mean, it's an awful light color. Like it's really blue, right? So you feel like you're consistently in this sort of like surgery room.
But at least you have light.
Yeah. So
Fudge.
mean, and we were really, really lucky in that it was so late in the year because like the days thereafter it was like 80 degrees, which is like 26 Celsius or something like that.
Hmm.
Because a month had it happened a month earlier, it would have been like 33 every day thereafter. So it was warm, but not like God, I'm dying of heat stroke all of a sudden.
But it would dry up faster, I guess, as well, in a
No,
way.
because you still have like 70% air humidity.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, you know what? Even Montreal, I noticed, like, when I was living downtown, the humidity is so much higher than living here. Here is what? I'm at 36%, where in downtown, because it's so much closer to the water and St. Laurent River and shit,
Yeah,
I was running at 50, 60% humidity in the
it's,
summer.
uh,
So,
it's cooled down. So we're gonna have to invest in a few things and like
mhm.
get solar up and running and just see what the cost is of it all and because that solar is only really worth it if you don't have to replace your roof within any time soon. Because otherwise you have to take it all off and redo it all, and one thing leads to
Mhm.
another. So I don't know. I may go broke on this, but we'll figure it out. I just like I can deal with 2 days without power, right? 3 days
That's for,
unpleasant,
yeah, but few weeks, that's a lot, man. The
but
weird thing is that it's here. It's yeah. If we get a big snowstorm, yeah, some people are out for 2, 3 weeks of power,
yeah, if we
which
had
I
like
can't
one of those
imagine that.
Tesla power walls, you would have noticed a flicker in the light, and it would have just switched over, and you would have been fine.
Yeah, but for how long, right? And I don't think it can run for 2 weeks out of that.
No, but like if you set your system up right, it charges the whole thing in just like 5 hours of the solar time. So the
Mm.
next morning it starts charging.
Yeah, I guess you can. It's regenerative because of
Yeah,
the solar. Yeah, so then.
but that's the reason why I'm thinking because of going that way. Because like if we have a generator, fine, right? But you can't run the generator until the storm is gone, which is another
Yeah,
downside. So you're just gonna have to like have no power at all, which was a problem because I couldn't pump the pool out because we had no power.
fuck. Oh boy, it's just things that go down when you never realize.
But I mean, I'm sort of slowly calculating if we just have one Tesla Powerwall because you can like stack 4 of them or something. Like if we had 4 of them, I think we could run this house for like 3.5 days with AC and not even charge them,
Hmm.
which would be very cost inefficient, right? Because it's always sunny here. But like you can run 20-ish hours without recharging including AC on one, I think, here.
Fuck.
So you just have to wait till it's morning, then it charges, and it's charged in like 5 hours. Which is not too bad.
Not bad
But
at all.
it is expensive. This is going to be like a little upgrade that is probably like 40 grand.
Oh yeah, no, the batteries are not gonna. I would be worried about the safety with the batteries. You're not worried about them fucking shorting out and burning your house down?
They're water sealed, so unless you like puncture them
Mm.
or like actually something goes wrong, like severely inside, it's
You should be fine otherwise.
yeah. I mean, it'll also hang on a wall that's concrete, right? Which is another quite big benefit. So it's like the lentils of the roof will be potentially like toasty, but like the wall won't burn because it's concrete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you need to look into that kind of a solution, in my opinion, because shiitake mushrooms.
I mean,
bro.
otherwise you can just dunk the battery in water and it'll be fine.
It's putting them in the pool for.
I guess I could do that to heat the pool.
Jesus Christ. So
yeah, I'm gonna figure that out and go broke again and be poor. But at least I'll have power.
Let's run your 50s during a storm.
Yeah.
It's a good,
at least I
good
won't have to hear that shit. I'll listen to my own stuff.
All right.
Anyway,
let's call it for the day.
Have a good week, everybody. Come join the Discord. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet already. And see you all next week.
Bye. Thanks for watching.